Hey, hello, welcome to another ass listening exercise. So, let's read before we listen the audio. The most widespread style of graffiti in Brazil is anti-capitalistic and anti-war. I don't think so. Legalized. I don't think so. Dangerous and illegal. I think this is the answer. The Brazilian graffiti is different from simply some scribbling on wall because I don't know. The reporter in the center of Sao Paulo mentions all of the following except it is so if you don't hear something you should just click. The group of people know what the graffiti on the building says because the more risky the process of graffiti tagging is, the more it is artists is searched by the police, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's listen to that one.
In part one, street artists led me through Paris and Barcelona. They showed me bold, colourful murals that make political and social statements pro-equality, pro-human rights, anti-capitalism, anti-war. The messages are clear. In Brazil, there is a lot of that kind of street art. In fact, much of it has actually been legalised, but it's nowhere near as widespread as a very different, dangerous, illegal style of graffiti tagging that's exploded over the past 30 years across Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. You're not going to see it on TV during the Olympics, but it's part of what we're going to hear about this week.
The first thing that caught my attention was seeing that it wasn't simply like some scribbling on the wall, that actually the letters, if they had a harmony or a lack of harmony, or they have a composition, or they had an attitude, or they look almost like the skeletons of cartoons, they took originality seriously.
It's Thursday evening and it's just starting to get dark. I'm right in the centre of São Paulo, near Praça da República, and I'm approaching a huge group of loud, very enthusiastic people. There must be about 200 to 300. Most of them are young, they're almost all male, they're standing, drinking, talking, passing notebooks around. At the end of the street I can see about 4 or 5 police cars keeping an eye on things. And if I look up, not just in this street, but in pretty much any street in São Paulo, if I look up at the buildings, right up to the top, the buildings are covered. Almost every blank space between the windows, quite often the windows themselves, the doors, the shop signs, they're all painted with thick black writing. I have no idea what it says, and I'm told that many of the locals don't know what it's meant to say either. But this group of people here, they know exactly what it says, because they wrote most of it.
Então vou pichar no sapatinho. Polícia sai do pé que eu vou gastar minha colotinha. Então vou pichar no sapatinho. Polícia sai.
The thing about the tag is where you place it. The more risk it poses to the artist's life, the more street cred you get.
It's the most high, the most difficult place. Let people imagine how the guy put that tag on that place. This is the magic of Pichação.
Okay, let's read hints. In the beginning, the speaker talks about graffiti in Paris and Barcelona, saying that it is pro-equality, pro-human rights, anti-capitalism and anti-war. Then he says that in Brazil there are much of such kind of street art, this typo, and that it was legalized, but after that he says that it is not nearly as widespread as the other graffiti, dangerous and illegal. And it was not very clear to hear that even with headphone. The talking man describes why the graffiti is different from simple scribblings, that the letters had harmony, or the lack of harmony, or they had a composition, or they had an attitude, or they looked almost like the skeletons of cartoons. They took originality seriously. Okay. In the beginning of the start, the reporter says it is Thursday evening and it is starting to get dark. The group of people know what okay. The reporter says that the buildings are covered with thick black writing. He adds that he has no idea what it says and that many of the locals don't know what it is meant to say either. Then the reporter says, but this group of people here, they know exactly what it says because they wrote most of it. After the music ends, the woman says the thing about the tag is where you place it. The more risk it poses to the artist's life, the more street grade you get. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Have a beautiful day.